Hi, my name is Jamie from Hedone.dining, and in this video I'm going to show you how to prepare and plate this week's main course of sous-vide chicken breasts with mash and baby vegetables and Marsala sauce. So this dish is all about trying to take a simple and a humble ingredient, chicken breast, potato mash, vegetables, and trying to make it special. So I've tried to do that today. And how have I done that? So with the chicken breast, those of you who've tried to cook chicken breast at home, the challenge with chicken breast is that it dries out very quickly. And that's because there's virtually no fat or collagen in chicken breast. It's almost entirely muscle, protein. And fat and collagen are two levers that we can use in the kitchen to give the sensation of tenderness. But we don't have that here. So what do? Well, all we have is the moisture that's naturally in the protein in the breast. And we want to try and keep as much of that moisture in the breast. And how do we do that? By cooking at a lower temperature. So the higher the temperature goes, the more the moisture, the water gets squeezed out. But we have to do it in a certain way because obviously we want to make sure that the meat is cooked through. We want to make sure also that at the very center of the meat that it's reached a temperature that means that that food is obviously safe for us to eat at home. We always have to be very careful when we're preparing and cooking chicken. So what I do, and I don't do this very often, but I've actually cooked the chicken breasts sous vide. So you might have heard of sous vide cooking, and all it is cooking food that's been vacuum packed, so under pressure, in a water bath at a set temperature. And what it allows us to do is to pick what we think is the best temperature, in this case 65 degrees Celsius, to cook that meat or vegetable or fish at. And by leaving it in the water for a good amount of time, so in this case over an hour, we're sure, and obviously we test this, that the internal core temperature is reached 65 and it's been there for a certain amount of time, which it has, and it means that the whole breast is cooked to that same temperature, 65 degrees. So hopefully the result is that we have a tender chicken breast, which is obviously what we're looking for. The other thing is the mashed potato. So obviously we have mash all the time. It's a staple of our diet. But how do we try and take mash to the next level? For those of you who are really into fine dining, you'll know that there are a few chefs out there who are actually famous for their mashed potatoes, such as Hedone. And I first had my kind of amazing mash many years ago, 15 years ago, more than that, nearly 20 years ago at the Fat Duck. And since then I've been trying to replicate that mash, and hopefully I've come some way with today's mash, but obviously not at that level. So there's two things to think about here. A is what potato you're using, so that's going to make a difference. Is it a floury potato, as they call them, or is it a waxy potato, which is a much denser potato, and gives you the opportunity to create a creamier mash, which is the way they like it in France, and it's the way I like it, and it's the way that I've tried to, or have cooked for you today. And then the other thing is, how do you process that? Because there's a lot of starch. So if you whiz it or you blend it, it's just going to become very gloopy and gluey. So what we do is I cook the potatoes, and then I put it through a ricer. So I just use the mechanical pressure to get that, to make it finer. And then I use a very fine mesh sieve to kind of again pass it through and make it even finer. And then I whisk that with some butter and some milk. And hopefully the result we have is a nice, rich, creamy mash. So I hope you don't mind me going on about all this, but it's these things that get me quite excited about doing these kits for you. It's actually taking the time to try and work with these ingredients and see what can we do to try and elevate those ingredients. Then I've also got some baby vegetables, and I've also got some chicken skin. So I removed the skin from the breasts, and then I blanched them, I dehydrate them in the fridge, and then I bake them in the oven. So we don't lose the skin. If you don't like skin, don't have it. Throw it away. But I just think it's a shame to waste it. And for those of you who love chicken skin, this is special. So we are going to start with the breasts. So as I said in the previous video, please refer to the instruction booklet for the instructions on how to reheat everything, temperatures, times, all of that. I've already done all that to save a bit of time now. So just carefully snip the bag and do this in a bowl because there'll be a little bit of liquid coming out. We want to make sure that doesn't go everywhere. Take my plate, put that over there. So I've got 2 portions here, I've got 2 breasts, but I'm only going to plate 1 for you, show you. So I'm just plotting it dry. And I'm going to cut it at an oblique angle, like so. There we are, and that what we have is a breast that's still nice and juicy. As you can see, the juices are still flowing there. And let's plate 1 like this. You got a nice angle there, and another one like that. There we go. Just to one side. And now for the mash. So I've just left the mash warming. Just kept it warm in the water bath where I cooked it. Mash is nice and hot. And I'm just going to pull it down. Again, just snip aside. And then get all of that into a bowl. Make sure we don't lose anything. There we go. Get rid of that. And what we want to do with the mash now is re-emulsify it. The fat and the water content that's in here. And you just want to do that quite vigorously. A few times. And what we end up with is a lovely, creamy, fine textured mash. Set a little bit of that on the plate, so I'm going to use this spoon. And if it's good mash, you should be able to just curl the edge. And this is really silly, but it's things like this that make me happy. So that's the sort of consistency we're looking for on the mash. And then I've got the baby vegetables here. And so we've got candied beetroots. Beautiful candied beetroots. Look lovely inside. And then we've got some purple, orange, and golden baby carrots. And I'm just going to cut them again at an oblique angle so you can see the inside. And again, I've got 2 portions here, so we've got these baby leeks as well. And I'm just going to place the vegetables like so. Always try and use your ingredients to get a little bit of height on your vegetables. Add a bit of interest to the plate. On there. Another one there. There we go. And then I've got my chicken skin, which I am just going to insert into the mash like so. And obviously I'm plating everything towards me, so I'll turn this around in a second so you can see what it looks like from your perspective. And then I'm going to also place these beautiful baby candy beets like that. And then finally I've got Marsala sauce, which is absolutely delicious. As you can see, it's got a lovely dark color to it. This is made with chicken and beef stock, Marsala wine, white wine, and herbs. And you can serve it just like that. But if you have a espresso frother at home, as I do here, there's some cream in the sauce, and then by frothing it, carefully, it's a nice thick liquid, so that serves as a good medium for the fat in here, in this case the cream, to froth. So it looks like a lovely cappuccino. And that looks really lovely. I'm just going to take that sauce and spoon it into the center. And there we are. So I'm just going to turn that around so you can see it from your angle. And there we have this week's main course of sous-vide chicken breast with potato mash, baby vegetables and masala sauce. Enjoy.